So this is my second tutorial of Unity. The first one I talked about setting up an environment and adding the different assets in to just kind of assemble the basic scene. Whereas this one I'm going to be talking more about the game component. So a good thing to add to your scenes is a first-person player with movement. So I can show you what that looks like in a completed kind of game. So basically you move around with WASD. And you move the mouse to kind of change what the player's looking. You can also use spacebar to jump. And basically this just allows someone looking at your project to get a first-person view, or you can kind of combine this with more advanced kind of actions. So then go around and like click individual objects. So this is a different script I added. And basically, yeah, it just makes it more interactive rather than just a static scene. So I can show you how to do that. I've just got a blank project set up here just with the floor I added in. So what you want to do, you want to go over here and go create empty, and then rename that and call it maybe first person player. And so that's an empty player. And then you want to add a component to it. And then Unity kind of has, since it's a game development kind of software, it has these profiles in here. So you want to go character controller and add it. And so now we've got our little character here. Now it is invisible, so in order to make it easier, we can go 3D object, cylinder, and now we can actually kind of see what's going on. So that's a rough outline of the player. Actually, I might also go into materials. I'm making a new material down here. And I might just change the cylinder to red. So I'll go over here to red, go to the color thing, click over there, and then just drag and drop on here. So yeah, with the player, there's kind of two aspects. One is the camera, so moving your mouse to change the view direction, and the other is the movement itself. So first, if you want to set up the camera, you just grab this first, the main camera here, and drag it onto the player. And then you pretty much just want to set it up kind of like where the head would be on like a player. So like obviously you wouldn't have it at the ground here, you want it up here, just towards the top. And then, yeah, so you have this camera here, you want to add a script to it. So the script kind of just is kind of like lines of code that kind of input the keyboard actions into the game. So if you go over here, add component, and then go just type in script, you can enter a new script. You might just want to call this mouse looking, and then go create and add. So now we got this script done here, but obviously we haven't done any coding at all. So you go over here and go edit script. And this will just open up the script editor on your computer. Well, this one's just Microsoft Visual Studio, but I think there's a different one for Mac. And this is what the script looks like. I do actually have already done this myself, so I've got the completed script here. So what I can do, I can upload this to our files from the project as well to make it a bit easier. But I'll just get rid of this one. Remove component, and then I can add in mouse look. And then you want to grab the first person player and put him in here. I can just briefly talk over this. I watched a good YouTube tutorial by a guy named Brackies, and he kind of explains all the different parts. But pretty much in the code, you have mouse sensitivity, like you move your mouse, how far the camera moves. And then it's just like using the X direction of the mouse to change that, using the Y direction. And then also it has like a clamping thing to stop you like just spinning in a full 360. So it kind of like stops the camera. So yeah, once you've kind of set that up and added that to the player, you can click play up here. And so now we can move our camera around. So yeah, that's half the script kind of done. The other part is the movement action. So in a similar kind of way, we're going to click back on first person player and go add component and add a new script. So kind of like the other way, but again, I've actually already set this up before. So I can go FP play movement. I can show you what this script looks like. So this one's a bit more complicated, but basically you just enter the speed of, when you use WASD, of how much it will move. You have a gravity set, so just 9.81 meters a second, and the amount of jump, how high you jump with pressing spacebar. It also has a part to check when you hit the ground to stop the gravity keep you accelerating towards the ground. And yeah, basically this is the ground part. So yeah, it's kind of almost like I haven't done much coding myself, but it's kind of like Excel if statements. So if you detects you at the ground and you're no longer moving, it just resets your velocity. And then yeah, this part is actually how the player moves around the environment. So yeah, going back to the Unity. So you see this script in here. You want to drag your first person player into here. You can change these kind of default values if you want to make it move quicker or fall down quicker. The only other thing you want to add is the ground check. So if you right click this and go create empty, rename ground check, enter, and then you just want to move this to the actual bottom of your player, because this is the part that resets the velocity once you hit the ground. So we've got that selected, and then drag that ground check to here, and then ground mask, just change that to everything, and then you want to hit play. And then moving WASD, you can move around, you can jump with spacebar, move around, probably jumping a bit too high. So what you can do, you can go back here, first person player, you make that jump maybe 2. Say we want to make gravity bigger, we can just go -20. We can make him a little bit slower too, and then we can go play again. So now you don't jump as high, you fall a little bit quicker, and we're moving a bit slower. So yeah, they're pretty much the basics. The probably most challenging thing is kind of understanding all this code. I'll put this as a file for you to download, and then you can just add it to the scene like I did. Or I actually recommend looking at that Brackeys on YouTube, just searching first person player, movement, Unity, and then you should be able to get a pretty good tutorial on that. So yeah, that's about the video. Thanks for watching.